So, we have this layout for completing the square. You've got to have this layout each time, and as Sam said, we have a plus C as well. That's fine. Alright then, well what do I put in this gap here? It is always half of the x coefficient. Whatever number is in front of the x, it is half that number. So it's plus 6, so half of that is just plus 3. That's what goes in there.
The formula would be x plus or minus b over 2.
B over 2, yeah. But I'm not going to write that because that's overly complicated. You're just halving that number. Whatever you've put in that space, doesn't matter what it is, whatever you've put in that space, you must then put in this space. Just like for like. Alright? And this plus C stuff here, the plus C stuff here is simply the constant. That's what the C stands for, the constant, which in this case is the number without any x's attached to it, which is the 1, and it's plus 1. So I stick it on the end. So that's where that 1 has come from. That is the same layout to begin with every single time. The only thing that makes this complicated is, if that number is a 5, then you end up with, well, you can put 2.5 in, why not? But I always write a fraction, 5 over 2. And when you start looking at that, you're thinking, what, 5 over 2? I don't know what to do. All you're doing is halving that number. Okay. This now is locked in. That is the whole point of completing the square. It is in the correct format. So I'm going to write it in red because it just doesn't change. Alright? This stuff, however, needs to be tidied up. And by tidied up, I mean work it out. Alright? So, next thing that completing the square students get wrong. See this minus here? Doesn't matter what you've got in that bracket. Doesn't matter what's in that bracket. That minus will remain. Alright? It's going to remain there. You can try as many examples as you like. That will always end up being a minus. Alright, let's tidy this up. What's 3 squared? 9. Plus 1. Done. Alright? If you want to argue about why it's still a minus, we can go through it at lunchtime. But that minus is always there.
Is that the answer?
That is the factorised answer. Alright, that is your factor. If it says factorise this by completing the square, you stop here.
So
yes?
Minus 8. Yeah. So minus 9 plus 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pause the video.
It is. No, that'll stay. I'm not going to be that bad. Let's do it again. Yeah, thank you. So we've got negative 9 plus 1. Negative. Thank you, Lachlan. Well done. Good. Yeah.
Don't get it wrong.
I know, the pressure's on, right? So, this is the factor. You are more than likely going to be asked, however, to solve. And if you have to solve, like always, you simply set it equal to 0 and you solve for x. That's what it means by solving. So, it's almost like you can think about completing the square in 2 steps. The first step is getting the factor, which is always the same root. And remember that minus 9 plus 1 is going to be minus 8, not 10. Now this solving stuff, it's the same steps over and over again. I'm going to add the constant to both sides. So I end up with x plus 3 squared equals 8. Then I get rid of the squared, I square root both sides. So I end up with x plus 3 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 8. Don't forget that plus or minus business, alright? If you take the square root of anything, it's plus or minus. Is that a perfect square? Is 8 a perfect square? No, so just leave it as a surd. Don't put it into your calculator and round it to 2dp. Just leave it as root 8, alright? It might not look nice, but that's fine. Then finally, I just have to get rid of the 3. So I just, in this case, take 3 from both sides. So x equals plus or minus root 8 minus 3. That is the answer in exact form. It's exact form because I haven't tried to work out root 8 and then round the number. I've just left it as root 8. There are 2 solutions because I've got a plus and a minus there. That is my answer. Alright?